The final chapter is presented to you by Texas Textbooks, on and off the drag. Fresh off an impressive late-season surge in 1994, Texas entered the 1995 season with great expectations. With its first bowl victory in 8 years and a Southwest Conference co-championship in hand, Longhorns set their sights higher in John Makovich's fourth season. Beginning with early morning workouts in the spring and unprecedented attendance marks during voluntary summer workouts, a determined Texas squad set the stage for a resurgent season. A season that would see the Longhorns return to the national spotlight and finish conference play where it belongs, on top. After 82 years, the book was closed on the storied Southwest Conference, and the Longhorns had written the final chapter. James Brown, draw play up the middle. Williams at the 40, 45, 50. Ricky Williams might go. He's at the 40, the 30. Ricky Williams is going to take it home. Touchdown, Texas. Ricky Williams scores, and the Longhorns now lead it 37-3. Good snap, good hold. The kick is on the way, and the kick from Dawson is good! It's good! And the Longhorns have won the game, 17-16. How about? High snap, it's a fake. Scoble pitches it out, and he's got Rome Rogers, 30-25, hit hard at the 22-yard line, and he's shy of the first down. Tony Brackett with a huge hit. Got that quick drop by Walton, looking to throw. Deep across the middle. It's caught at the 45-40. He might go all the way. It's Fitzgerald at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Texas. 69 yards. Pat Fitzgerald puts Texas on the board. Bullock will throw. Looking, has time, throws right, incomplete, and a big hit by the Texas defensive back, Bryant Westbrook. Celebration time for the Texas Longhorns as they win the last Southwest Conference championship. After one of the more ballyhooed preseasons in years, the eyes of Texas were upon the Longhorns as they opened the season 4,000 miles from home in Hawaii.
Our first goal of the year was to beat Hawaii, and we only had 14 goals for the year, and that was number one. And we took an approach that we wanted to go and have a good time, but we knew we wanted to go and win the game. I really think our seniors took over in that game early in the year and showed that they would be good leaders, they would help set a pace, they would understand what needed to be done, and we went over and had a great time. It was a terrific trip, but when we lined up to play on Saturday night, we played an excellent opening game right off the bat.
Putting aside the distractions of this tropical paradise, the Horns efficiently went about their task. On a cool Hawaiian evening, the Steers heated up early, scoring on 5 of their first 6 possessions to claim a 31-3 halftime lead. True freshman running back Ricky Williams stole the show. After just over 3 weeks as a Longhorn, he displayed the explosive style that made him one of the most sought-after high schoolers in America as a senior. Williams broke Earl Campbell's Texas freshman debut record with 95 yards rushing. Rookie back sprinted to a pair of touchdowns, including a 65-yarder midway through the third quarter. Draw play up the middle, Williams at the 40, 45, 50. Ricky Williams might go. He's at the 40, the 30. Ricky Williams is going to take it home. Touchdown, Texas. Ricky Williams scores, and the Longhorns now lead it 37-3. 65 yards for Ricky Williams.
How do you like that play call? 3rd and 20. Give it to Ricky.
All right, well, coming into the game, I was really nervous about playing in front of so many people in my first college game and my first start. So I came out there and I was, the first play, I think it was a counter and I kind of stutter stepped and got tackled in the backfield, and then, I had a couple blocks and I started to get warm and into the game, and I felt really good. And after I scored the first touchdown, I had that catch, I almost scored, and then I scored that long run. Felt really good. The bugs went away, and I was pretty happy with my performance.
Quarterback James Brown threw for 210 yards and methodically led a Texas offense that had scored all 38 of its points by the midway point of the third quarter. Inside linebacker Tyson King's career-high 19 tackles led a defense that held the Rainbow Warriors to just 3 points through 3 periods as Texas cruised to a 38-17 win.
After working out all summer, going through two-a-days, you're just ready to get to your first game. And I was just happened to be a trip to Hawaii, which was a great trip. And we had a few distractions out there, but we needed to go out there and have a good showing and show why we were in the top 25. And defensively, we had to have a good showing and just dominate the game.
After enjoying an off week to recover from the Hawaiian tour, Texas opened its home season with a non-league rematch with Pittsburgh.
Well, there was a lot of excitement and anticipation. I think coming off the Hawaii performance, we wanted to show our fans at home that defensively we were a good football team and that we could compete and make plays. And actually, when we came out, I just felt like we had something to prove, kind of to the media and the fans, that the defense was for real this year.
Both teams felt the effects of the midday sun as field temperatures soared as high as 120 degrees. But nothing impacted the game more than when All-American Tony Brackens went down early in the first quarter. On the first series with Brackens on the sideline, Pittsburgh drove 77 yards in 7 plays to take a 7-0 lead. After a series of early mistakes, the Texas offense responded and tied the game at 7 on Sean Mitchell's first touchdown as a Longhorn late in the first quarter. Pat Fitzgerald's 15-yard touchdown catch from James Brown just before the half gave Texas a 14-10 advantage at the intermission. Pitt stormed back to claim a 27-24 fourth quarter lead. With just over 5 minutes left, Texas responded. James Brown found Justin McLemore on an 18-yarder. Then a lunging 18-yard reception by Mike Adams put the Horns deep in Pitt territory. On 3rd and 4 at the 14, Brown fooled everybody on a naked bootleg to set up a Ricky Williams 1-yard score and put Texas ahead for good at 31-27. Pitt had one last chance. Longhorns closed the door as Trey Thomas tipped a pass and Jason Reeves snatched it and went 45 yards for a score to cap the 38-27 win.
He's going to take it into the end zone. A 45-yard return, and the Longhorns are going to win this football game. Jason Reeves on the deflection returns it 45 yards for the score.
Well, we wanted to go in this season trying to win all 6 of our home games. Pitt was the first home game. So we set out to try to win that one to get started on the right foot. As far as my interception, Trey had tipped the ball up in the air, and I just went up and grabbed it and sprinted down the sideline for that touchdown. So it felt pretty good to do that. It was a long run once I caught the ball, so it's a pretty good feeling.
Trey Thomas had 3 interceptions on the game to lead the defense, while James Brown threw for 306 yards and a pair of TDs. But Texas would be forced to grapple with the loss of its most effective pass rusher, Tony Brackens. 2 of the nation's storied football programs were on display as Texas traveled to South Bend to meet Notre Dame. With touchdown Jesus in the distance and Irish coach Lou Holtz in the press box, Texas was rattled early as Notre Dame charged to a 10-0 first quarter lead. The Longhorn offense finally hit stride as James Brown connected with Mike Adams on a pair of passes that covered 66 yards. Then Brown found Pat Fitzgerald for his first of a school record-tying 3 touchdown receptions to put Texas on the board.
Pat Fitzgerald.
Well, James Brown likes to go to Pat Fitzgerald, and he rolled to the right side. Good play fake, and there was Pat, the big man, the big target for the score.
It was definitely, one of the highlights of my career, going up to Notre Dame and scoring 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's a game of your life. You don't really expect to do something like that at Notre Dame, but you just do, get prepared as much as you can. And it was kind of disappointing to take with the loss. We thought we could win. We didn't really think we should have lost that game, so I guess you're just going to have to enjoy getting in both record books and just take it at that.
The Irish went on top 17-7 before Fitzgerald cut into the lead again, this time on a 15-yard TD grab with 10:09 left in the second quarter. But a blocked Phil Dawson extra point was returned for a 2-point conversion to stall the Longhorn momentum and give Notre Dame a 19-13 lead, which carried through halftime. Texas got on the board first in the second half, converting a 4th down and goal at the half-yard line to claim a 20-19 lead. James Brown found Steve Bradley for the 1-yard score. Notre Dame answered with a TD of its own to reclaim the lead 27-20. After a solid defensive stand, Texas mishandled a Notre Dame punt, and the Irish capitalized to extend its lead to 34-20 with 9:38 left in the game, and the Horns never recovered. James Brown threw for 326 yards and 4 TDs. Mike Adams caught 5 passes for 141 yards.
It was a fun experience for me. One I'll probably never forget. It's a field and a team that I've dreamed playing for, and I had players on the team that I looked up to, like Rocket Ishmael and Tim Brown, and just a chance for me to go out and play on the same field they did and do some good things. And James threw me a couple of passes that I made some pretty good catches and big plays against Notre Dame, and it was just a fun thrill for me to go there and show them and the nation that I was a good football player and a good receiver.
The Texas' 5 turnovers and several special teams breakdowns led to a late game demise in a 55-27 Longhorn loss, a defeat that ultimately would test the will of the Texas team. For the first time in 7 games, Texas faced SMU looking to rebound from a defeat. After a disappointing loss at Notre Dame and dropping to its lowest national ranking of the year, number 21 Texas entered its Southwest Conference opener. With a 20-game Southwest Conference opening game winning streak on the line, the Horns brilliantly blended the pass and run to cover 80 yards in 8 plays. Texas scored first on a Matt Davis 17-yard TD toss from James Brown. Early in the second quarter, Ricky Williams ripped through the Mustangs' defense for 24 yards to set up a Sean Mitchell 3-yard touchdown run.
The SMU game ended up kind of setting the tone for us this season in our running game. We ended up having a very successful day on the ground, and after we accomplished that, we kind of expected to do that every week, and it kind of set the tone for the whole season for us.
SMU got on the board with a 34-yard field goal. Then Brown, directing Texas' 2-minute offense, completed 6 of 7 passes for 65 yards, including an 11-yard TD pass to Justin McLemore for a 21-3 Texas halftime lead. The Mustangs made the score 21-10 in the third quarter before Texas' balanced offensive attack put on the finishing touches. Sean Mitchell dashed for 65 yards for a score.
He's got one man to beat, and he's going to beat him. Sean Mitchell's going to take this one into the end zone for a 64-yard scoring run.
Yes, the ground attack can do it. And despite the misfires in the passing game, the Texas backfield tandem of Mitchell and Williams continues to pulverize SMU's defensive front. And there's no reason in the world, Bill, not to think that the Longhorns should keep this on the ground, that they should keep it on the ground. They're just moving the football at will against SMU on the ground. They do it here for the big play.
Then Matt Davis' 25-yard TD pass from Richard Walton extended the Horns' lead to 35-10 by the end of the third quarter. Sean Mitchell's 180 yards rushing led a Longhorn attack that gained 341 yards on the ground and 558 total yards.
I give the offensive line their credit. They blocked well that game. I also give Ricky Williams his credit. He helped me. He sprang me through some big holes. And I give myself, I give God the credit to having me play this way. So, with all my talent and their talent, it was a great game. We broke some big tackles. They opened up some big holes to let me run the ball well. So I give the credit to the offensive line.
Defensively, the Steers held the Mustangs to just 87 yards rushing and 187 total yards. Challenged by its first defeat, Texas responded with a resounding victory in its Southwest Conference season opener.